Hello, you are listening to English edition of Konopný podcast dedicated to cannabis growing and another interesting information about cannabis. My name is José Krejčík and I'm publishing books and articles on this topic for more than 12 years. I'm wishing you a pleasant listening. Hello, welcome to another episode of Cannabis podcast. I moved from Amsterdam, from Greentech directly to Berlin. And we are in a place where marriage in Berlin will start tomorrow. But it's Thursday and I met Chico here. Hello, Chico.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
And we decided to make an interview because we have been talking about it for a longer time. And we see each other quite often on the trade shows, on the different...
Every trade show, I think, so many years already.
Exactly, and on the different place in the different countries. So yeah, it's always good to spend time with good people. And Chico will tell you something about BioNova Fertilizers, and I will ask him some other questions. So, Chico, can you introduce BioNova a little bit?
Definitely.
Listeners.
BioNova has been a family-run company. It's established in 1993 as one of the first 3 cannabis-specific nutrient companies in the whole world. Mm-hmm. The owner of the company, he started growing cannabis 45 years ago.
Okay.
He was the first guy introduced with a few Americans, and the Americans, they came to Holland because the American government was having a war on drugs. Mm-hmm. So all the breeders and genetic guys, they got just pushed out of the country. So they fled to Holland.
Yeah.
In Holland, they found a group of Dutch people.
Yeah.
And the founder of the company of BioNova, by accident it's my father, but he started one of the 2 greenhouses with the Americans. He was the manager of one of the 2 greenhouses. And in the past, there was nothing for cannabis available. There was just all the separate micro elements available in German markets and stuff like that, and from Israel. But nothing was classified for cannabis. So they started to really experiment about all the mixtures with different macro elements to find the right solution for cannabis. And that was a journey of about 10 years. And after those 10 years, the Dutch government said, hey, we don't like this anymore. And then they really put the coffee shops into a gray area where the supply of the coffee just vanished. It's just...
Yeah.
So at that point, all the guys from those greenhouses, they were on the streets and they were like, okay, what can we do? And the only thing my father knew was growing cannabis. That's all he knew in his life.
Yeah.
That's how he got raised, and that's what he knew. So by learning that curve of using nutrients, he said, hey, there's nothing available on the market. I've been doing this for almost 10 years. Let's create a brand about this. So that's where really it started, to create BioNova Fertilizers. That's the beginning in 1993. And he did it together with a partner of his. And there was a biologist. My father, he was the commercial guy. So he was traveling all around the world, and there was a biologist in the lab all day, all year round, and he was developing the products.
BioNova, what does it mean? Is it like a combination of...
I think everybody has questions about what is the name BioNova, especially the Nova part. The idea in the past was they want to have philosophy is free biological products. And biological will not always say organic, it can also be minerals, but the minerals that are in the purest form available. Nova is a Spanish word for innovation. So they wanted to be a biological, innovative company. And that's where the name BioNova came from.
Yeah, cool. It's like lots of people asking this, why...
I always get the question, and a lot of people think, it's BioNova, so everything is biological, organic. And that's not the case. Minerals can also be biological.
Yeah, that's right. How long is BioNova on the market? You said your father started 45 years ago.
32, 1993, so...
32?
32, 33. 1993 they started, so that's the year.
Unbelievable. It's a long time already. Yeah. And you have a 3-part fertilizers or 1 part, There is this different approach how to get to the goal. So what is the way of BioNova?
In the end, we want to be able to supply every grower with their needs. And in the beginning, in 1993, BioNova was the company that started with a 1-component micronutrients.
Okay.
That has all the micronutrients just in 1 bottle for the simplicity of use. And that's where it started. And then with the PK1314, I think I can claim that BioNova was the inventor of PK1314 because we were the first ones to enter market with that composition. And that's now the benchmark in PK standards in the market nowadays.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. It's pioneering of cannabis growing in Holland is really connected to people who escaped from US and also the Dutch skills around growing any plant.
The whole world with our skills, but nowadays, Holland is falling so far behind. The West has been taking over since 8 years. Now we are here in Germany. It's getting legalized, and Holland is still going backwards.
Yeah, we will see if the cannabis experiment will change it a little bit. But yeah, lots of obstacles also in this field. You told me that you started with 1 part fertilizer.
Yeah.
Now you are continuing the same way with 1 part, or you have more parts?
No, like the market also has different demands. So when other competitors did like a 2-component, we said, okay, we also have to do a 3-component fertilizer, A and B. And that's also after 2 or 3 years, we also started with an A and D. Yeah. And we always had all the supermix. So we had a special supermix for soil cultivation, for hydro cultivation, even for NFT aeroponic systems. Nowadays, you also have like for autoflower specialized one we're going fertilizer. So even for sativas, we have a specialized one.
Okay, it's interesting for autoflowering strains. So, what is the difference in formula? Like, if I use your line for hydro, for example, what is the biggest difference for automatic strains?
It's mainly in the composition of the micronutrients. Add, for example, a little bit more nitrogen and a little bit more potassium.
Okay.
Nitrogen a little bit more is because the autoflowers tend to stay a little bit small, so we want to give it a little bit more power to the autoflower.
Okay.
By having it a little bit stretched more. So it gets more branches, more internodes, and that way the autoflower just performs a little bit better. And we also add some organic components that work very well with the autoflower products.
It's interesting to talk about autoflowerings because someone say they need more nutrients, somebody say they need less nutrients, What is my experience if I count it together in one harvest? Of course, I need more nutrients for photos because they simply grow longer, and if I live longer, I need more food. But on the other hand, my experience is that I cannot underfeed autoflowering. What is your experience, or what is your...
You can always underfeed a plant by just not giving it any nutrition.
Yeah.
Or just having too low amounts of nutrition in there.
Yes.
But it always depends, the amount you give, it depends on a lot of factors. It's your whole environment. Do you grow outdoors? How does the summer look like? Is it like only 50 degrees, 20 degrees? Then the plant doesn't consume a lot of food. When it's a lot hotter and the plant was evaporating a lot, it produces, eats a lot more nutrition. But also in indoor environments, when you work with the normal HPS, where you now switch to LED, and it needs also some other compositions of nutrition for LED. Because with LED, the plant is just performing a lot more. So it needs to eat more. It's the same way we always compare a plant and a human, because we are both living organisms. And if you had a good sports, you need to eat extra. So to fill your body. To refill your body with the energy. So that's it's always comparable. We are both living organisms. You can really compare that with each other.
Yes. But if we have like everything else is on the same level for the classic strain or for the periodic sensitive strains and automatic strains, when only difference is nutrition. So you add more nitrogen and more potassium. Right.
The general, and we add some extra organic components like some specific aminos. We did because BioNova always does research in different facilities, and BioNova does this research to really showcase the products really work. And in the beginning, it's just for ourselves because we're not the company that still makes a lot of claims out there. While we know with the research we can do it, we wouldn't make the claims. We just like to share this knowledge with the people. And the person that we speak with, we share also the research documents. And there you can see that really with some extra organic components, with autoflowers, you get a better plant and a healthier plant, a better end product as well. And better terpene levels, or better cannabinoids, and a dry weight as well.
If we talk about BioNova products, what is your suggestion for autoflowering strains? What would you suggest me if I want to start to grow outdoors now, it's June, so I still have a time. So would you like to suggest me some of your soil and with combination?
There's three ways. You know, the substrate is not very specific for autoflower. In the end, the plant, the root system is the same as any other plant.
Yeah.
So the root system is in the same environment. The plant above, but there's two ways to feed it. You can do even a liquid way or an organic pellet way. So that's more creating like a living soil. So we have a product called Profimix and Microlife.
Okay.
Profimix and Microlife are both 100% vegan sources. So it's a pellet product that dissolves into the substrate and gives fertilization for 10 to 12 weeks. So it's sort of full cycle of a cannabis plant. What I always suggest is these two products for the people that don't have enough knowledge. Because you just mix these in your potting soil, and after it's only adding water to the solution, and that's it.
Yeah, cool.
No EC, no pH measuring, just as simple as it can be.
Yeah.
We even have employees in our company, they want to grow it simple because they lack a lot of time. They just put this in there, put like automated irrigation there with water, and don't look at it for 3 months. And the other solution is going with the liquid one. That gives you a lot more availability to steer with the nutrition. Because we always say nutrition, all these feeding charts that all the companies made is always a generic number.
Okay.
It's a generic number for everybody to be working with safer.
Yeah.
And of course, there's so many cultivars, and every cultivar has its own demand for nutrients.
Yes.
So we always say when you have a nutrient schedule, you can always add 5% on the dosage and watch the tips of your leaves.
Yeah.
And until the tips start to color a little brownish with the top, then you have to go back 5%. But some crops, you can even add like 20% on top of the dosing rate that our company gives, or probably also the other companies give. So it's always finding the right dosing rate with your genetic that you are growing.
Yes.
So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
So like everybody saying, this is just not the perfect plan. But yeah, of course not. Because it's generic. It's to make everybody successful with that plan. We always suggest like steps for 5%. When brown tips occur, go back 5%, and then you're on the perfect level of nutrient to dosage.
Cool. You mentioned vegan. I know you have a vegan line, correct? I don't know if someone, I think you were the first who came with a vegan life on the market.
Yeah.
So explain me, what does it mean, like vegan line?
Let me tell you a little bit the background where the idea started, because that's also very important. I think when the medicinal cannabis started like 9-10 years ago in Canada and the US, the founder of BioNova, he was like, okay, now it's really time that we start to produce a medicine and not a recreational product. And this has been a passion for him as well, that he said, hey, I want to do something back to the community. I want to create a nutrient that's as clean as possible with as clean as possible outcome of a flower.
Okay.
So that was the main goal. And then he started researching with his biologist and said, hey, how can we achieve the cleanest products? Okay, of course, it's organic. Because we don't want the minerals and synthetics in there. Okay, but can we have it cleaner than just organic? Because most organic products, they are wasted from slaughterhouses. So it's blood, bone meal, skin meal, fish meal, all that stuff. And there can be pollution in there as well, like antibiotics from the animal that's been slaughtered can still be wasted inside the product. So we started the negotiation with our team and the biologist, like, okay, what should we do? Because it wasn't there yet. And then they said, hey, let's only focus on algae and plant material. So they were started to look, okay, how can we implement plant materials? So that's plant waste matter, that's also algae. We have our own algae farm in Holland where we grow our own algae to put in the product. We use like Zechstein mineralen, that's the half of Holland was in the past, like 100 million years ago. Half of Holland was under the water. When Holland got up, there's still sources in that land of old sea minerals. So we dig those out as well. And all these natural components are forming the veganic lime.
Okay.
And it was like a research of 4 or 5 years to get it right. Especially the potassium was impossible to get it. That was a 4 or 5 year challenge to get the potassium in a vegan way. And it's almost impossible to achieve more than 2% of potassium in your mixture. It's impossible. In a vegan way. Like the nitrogen and the phosphorus was not a big challenge, but the potassium was a big challenge.
Yeah. And did you find a way how to,
We found a way, and then we keep that a secret. Yes, there was a 5 year research with many biologists, a lot of testing, so that's... But in the end, BioNova is always a brand that is very transparent about its ingredients. Like you now check our new informational material, you'll find we are the first company that really showcases what's inside our products and why do we put it inside and what are the effects on the plant in the end. And to add to the veganic line, so we have a Veganics Grow and we have a Veganics Bloom. And a year later, we came out also with a vegan PK.
Okay.
So we also have a vegan PK additive to the veganic line. And then, of course, all the biostimulants are also all vegan because it's all based on the natural materials as well.
So even when it's hard to get potassium, you have been able to find out how to make a PK with a high content of potassium.
5.
Okay.
Only 5. But there was another research. So the research before we started to get the 2% in the beginning of the product, we said, okay, the full focus after we launch these products is get the potassium higher because only then we can bring out the PK.
Yes.
Where the ratio of potassium is higher than the phosphorus.
Let's introduce a little bit your line, So the usual companies have something for soil, something for hydro, something for cocoa or whatever. What is your approach? What is your way?
We do exactly the same thing because that's in the end what growers need to know. I grow on soil, I grow on cocoa, I grow on hydro, I grow on arrow.
So you have always part A, part B for cocoa, part A, part B for hydro.
Correct. Only for soil we do the one component, and that's an organic product. So it's a combination of mineral and organic.
Okay.
And in the end, what I always suggest to every grower, it always use a combination of mineral and organic.
Yes.
Because if you use macro micronutrients as organics, because organic components are not available to the crop, the plant or the organic components need to transform into minerals in the substrate environment to be available to the plant. And that's a process that can take from 1 week up until 4 weeks.
Yes.
And if you work only with organic components, it's very hard to steer. And even like I said, with the 5% extra dosage to get the best out of the crop, that's impossible with organic. So our suggestion is always use a combination of mineral and organic. So for example, our soil product is like 80% mineral, 20% organic components, just to give it extra microorganism to have the soil life more activated.
That's right. It's some people doesn't know that, but if you mix organic fertilizers with water, the EC will stay the same because organic matter is not connected to electricity.
We have 9 biostimulants, and there's only one biostimulant that drives the EC by 0.1, and that's it. If you add all 9 of them, so there you see there's not influential on the EC.
Organic growing is like a hot topic. Everybody wants to do that, but I say it's okay. But as Chico said, it's not the easiest way how to grow. I think that mineral.
My suggestion would be if you grow organic, before you put the plant and already start feeding the soil 2 weeks before you add the plant.
Yes, exactly.
Because the minerals are already transformed and
in the end
are available.
In the end, even if you grow organically, you need mineral compounds in the soil.
But it's always important to look at the form of minerals because there are a lot of different type of minerals.
Okay.
And our products are very low in ballast salts, heavy metals, and chlorides. And if you look on the composition of other brands, sometimes you find like 6 or 7 times more chlorides or ballast salts or heavy metals inside the product. And those leave residues in your flowers as well.
Interesting.
So sometimes we even get the feedback from our mineral products when we used organic before that the product is even cleaner than before. And they're not surprised. But I'm happy to see nowadays, even on the expo here, we meet a lot of people that see, no, I want from micros, I want pure mineral. And then I put organic additives next to it.
Okay. What is the missing link stimulator?
Missing link, it's a unique BioNova product.
Okay.
So this is also a product where we're very proud of. It's fulvic acid, but it's not just a fulvic acid. Normal fulvic acids that you see in a bottle are brownish, blackish as a color and are very not transparent. This one is completely yellow towards gold. And we get this fulvic acid from a 70 million old mine that's been dug out by a family. It's a very small family company. That's also where we focus on. We don't like to buy our sources from the big manufacturing companies. We always look for these small, local family companies, and it can be in South America, Asia, Middle East, really small family-owned companies. And they bring out the quality that we are proud of to put in our products. So it's a combination of the best fulvic acid in the world with colloidal silver. And this colloidal silver, that's what we also produce in our own factory with silver bars and stuff. And this colloidal silver really gives a high protective level for the crop.
Yes.
And a high immune system. So we also say this product is for the ultimate immune system. So the plant is a lot more protective against vulnerability of humidity, stress, and stuff like that. But also nutrient uptake, the plant eats a lot more food with this product.
Yeah.
We also find it in research. We can even thrive with the EC more, and the plant is happy to eat it.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting. What else we have? Cross-cell or cross-cell?
XL?
XL?
XL,
okay.
XL.
Yeah.
You can say it like X and L.
Okay.
But we say it as X as a cell.
Uh-huh.
And this is also one of the first stimulators we had. And this is a pure combination of aminos, kelp, also a little bit of fulvic, but it's a lot of organic components that form this product together. And it's completely free of hormones. So that we are very important. We don't put any hormones in our products because we want to have a natural stimulation to the crop.
Yeah, yeah.
And this plant is really pure, your flower booster, your flavor booster, to really have better flowers, stickier flowers, and better tasty flowers.
Interesting. We mentioned already our soil, but you have one soil, one kind of soil there.
Correct. We just produce one soil of the highest quality with a weak fertilization, because in the end we think, hey, people need to steer their own crop. We can make a soil that's completely living soil, but that's not where we stand behind. We are more into steering the plant.
Yes.
And not just leave it up to the soil life. We do make those products, but you always suggest to add some extras to reach the full potency of the crop.
Okay.
But there's indeed only one soil mix, and it's also fertilized in a vegan way. So basically, I can say all our products are vegan, even like minerals are also vegan, of course.
Yeah.
So that we don't use any animal components in any of our products.
Do you need some certification for that? Like if you want to say your product is vegan, does...
Yeah, we do it.
For the certification?
We do it for OMRI certification, and OMRI is like it's a certified agency.
I know.
And in the end, we can get like 10 different badges on the bottle, but as long as we have one that's already proven that the sources inside are correct, and everybody can have trust in that, and then that certification, of course. And we also have cocoa, so not only a soil, we also have cocoa products or cocoa substrates.
Really?
And we do that with our own factory in Sri Lanka.
Okay.
So first we work with this guy, and then 9 years ago we bought out this factory, and now we're doing this production together.
Yeah.
So we're making like cocoa fiber, just pure cocoa fiber. It's washed and 2 times buffered. EC is always guaranteed low 0.5.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of cocos that always are a little bit above, but if you put like a clone or a cutting inside, they'll probably start to starve out.
I have this experience that cocoa has to be like properly prepared for cannabis growing. So I love Sri Lanka as well. This is a really nice country. So and a lot of cocoa, I think like most of cocoa on the market is from there, am I?
Sri Lanka and India, that's the hub of all cocoa in the world. I think they're now trying to start something in the Caribbean area as well, because shipments from Sri Lanka all the way to US and South America getting too expensive. So there's research been done now to do it in the Caribbean area as well.
And the cleaning and buffering you are doing on site in Sri Lanka, or
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, definitely, it's good.
Before it's been packaged, it's all been washed, buffered.
Yeah.
So we do packaging in 50-liter cocoa fiber bag. We make the compressed bricks for like small packaging, easy to transport. And then we make a pop-up bag. So it's pots and a cocoa in one. And it's packed like very small, and you have the water evaporate the cocoa, and then you have a growing pot and the soil already inside.
Yeah. Cool. I know some companies do it in Europe, that they bring cocoa here and everything processing it in here. So it's definitely better to do it over there. I see
Better to do it on site.
the third bottle we have on the table is Solution.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So to finish off this line, like we are now pushing these 3 products as the power to perform, because we showcase these also in research. We will start publishing these documents very soon. But these 3 products really give a big edge to any crop, any cultivar. And to finish off with the solution is a monosilicic acid.
Okay.
And it's a monosilicic acid with a percentage of 1.85%. And we did a lot of research with different silicas. 1.65, 1.75, 1.85, and so forth, until 2.7, 2.8, I suspect. And we did this research to find, because there's so many claims, there's such a big hype around the silica products on the market nowadays. Everybody's selling it, and everybody's buying it, but nobody really knows what it's doing.
Okay. So tell us.
Yes, because with the research, we found out that the normal silicas, so not a monosilicic acid, the crop cannot do anything with it. It's not even taken up by the crop. We measure it in the drainage as well, but it's still there.
Okay.
So we drain the rock pool or the soil. We can still measure that there's silica available.
Yeah.
And so in the dry weight, cannabinoids, terpene levels, there's no impact. So with the monosilicic acid, that's only the form of silica that gives the edge to the plant, and that's completely available to your plant. And we even add more fulvic acid from our fulvic acid source. It would make it more bioavailable as well. With the research, we found out that with 1.85, it's the maximum level for the plant to perform with. Everything above 1.85, the plant started performing less. Less weight, less terpenes, and less cannabinoids. So with the 1.85%, we found out on generic cultivars, 5% more harvest, and that's just only with this product.
Okay.
You found 88% more terpenes and 32% more cannabinoids. And that was only with just one product.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, and I know it's an expensive source and it's an expensive product in the market, but it's a very good product as an investment to your crop.
Yeah, yeah.
And where we sell this product mainly to is like the bigger operations, because they use it as a foliar application, and it's very efficient. Like 1 time a week foliar application.
Is it the foliar? This is foliar application.
Definitely. We say until we
Other two components goes inside.
You can even use them as foliar as well.
Yeah, it's foliar, all of them. Okay, it's good.
You can even foliar spray A and B if you want to. You can suggest it, but you can if you want to.
Yeah.
We always say until week 2 of flowering. After that, don't do any foliar sprays in there.
Yeah.
That's a key thing.
So what was the amount? You said 32% more cannabinoids you can get.
Cannabinoids, yeah, and 88% more terpenes.
Okay.
And 5% more harvest.
Okay.
I tell you, for example, when you go up until 2.5% or average about that, it's only 2-3% more harvest. So it already goes down when you use more percentage of silica.
But 32% more cannabinoids, it's a high number. It's like...
Yeah, but it's not you go from 10 to 40% of THC, eh?
I understand.
It's a generic graze.
I understand. So, but if I have 20%, so plus 30, if I have 20% THC and plus 30%, it's 26%. So it's like a decent amount of...
we were very amazed as well. We thought, okay, it should do something to the dry weight.
Okay.
Especially the terpenes. We never expected that the silica product would improve the terpenes 88%. So that's almost double the amount of terpenes.
Okay.
And it's not an organic product. It's mineral.
Yeah. I think I will try it for sure.
You're welcome. You can take some home if you want.
Cool.
No, but yeah, that's really surprising. Everybody thinks, okay, the organic components, kelp and stuff like that, or vinases, they will drive up the flavor. Silica does as well.
Yeah. Cool.
It was double up. So they're
very information, and I'm sure I will take one bottle for free, of course.
Of course.
Because everybody get everything for free here at Mary Jane.
We are always open to share our products when people are interested.
Yeah.
Of course. And it's first go by experience.
Yeah.
And then they are free to buy the product.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Exactly.
It's always trial it before you buy it.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah. Cool. Chico, I think the show slowly starts and lots of people come because...
We got interrupted a few times.
We have to say... sorry?
Already got interrupted a few times with people. Like,
yeah. I think... I think all of us are a little bit surprised how many people came this year to Mary Jane.
I'm not surprised. I already tell since Cannabis, I say to everybody, Mary Jane is going to be the busiest cannabis expo in Europe so far.
Yeah.
And already Friday, the first day, or
Friday was unbelievable, and I think today it will be not. We will be not able to pass this ways.
Yeah, I only went to bathroom stops yesterday, and the rest was just all people here. And I wish all of Europe is going to have this situation.
Yeah, it will be great if this would happen in Germany. It will spread also to other countries. To France, to Czech, to Poland.
You know, in Poland also the first THC grows are starting.
Yeah.
That's very, very moving forward.
They have really nice, really good chant. You can easily be a patient in Italy, like a cannabis patient, in Poland, cannabis patient. And in pharmacies, there is a lot of cannabis you can get from.
Oh, really?
So yeah. So Poland, like it seems that it's not a very cannabis friendly country, but pharmaceutical business with cannabis is very well developed. Yeah, and Poland is a big country.
Children's shoes, but it's developing.
Yeah.
So it's another country that's opening up. So
Exactly.
let's all stand behind this movement and
Cannabis is planned and should be legal everywhere around the world. So we hope that we will, with help of all the nice people which attended this.
the strange show is, in the end, everybody's allowed to brew drugs at home.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
Yes.
Alcohol is also drugs.
Of course.
Why can't we brew our own cannabis?
Like growing
A
cannabis.
natural product.
Yes,
It's not
growing
synthesized. It's not been anything changed. It's just pure nature.
Yes.
And the important thing is use it in the right way.
Yes.
Because that's what I always say to people. When you consume cannabis, know yourself and know your effects with cannabis and know exactly how to use it and when to use it. And not, I never suggest anyone to do it all day.
I think we can say everything in moderate and never smoke alone. Because it's always good to share these moments.
To share, definitely.
Yeah, and
just like drinking. You're not going to go drink alcohol alone.
Once you start to drink alone, you are alcoholic.
It's easy to start drinking a beer every night.
Yeah, definitely. And when you sit alone at home watching TV and drink beer and second, it's not okay. And the same thing, it's not okay to be hardly stoned every day.
Smoke a few joints a night by yourself.
Exactly.
Look, everybody does their own thing, of course, but I never suggest it because it's a social thing.
I think so.
And that's also a misunderstanding from a lot of civilians around Europe and the rest of the world. It's when people smoke cannabis, their lack of motivation, lack of energy, lack of getting out of bed. But as you know, most people we know smoke cannabis. They go on a mountain bike tour of 50 kilometers. They don't. It's just different aspect.
There are normal people who live normal lives as any.
For example, we even sponsor athletes that compete with freestyle motocross in the X Games in the US.
Yeah.
And these guys, they smoke a joint before they hit the big ramps.
Yes.
It's also to relax their minds, to be able to conquer that fear. But it's also, they do the most extreme sports under the influence of cannabis. If they were drinking alcohol, they would never jump.
Yeah.
They would maybe try it, but
That's right.
yeah.
That's right. Okay, Chico, do you have some message for growers? Like mostly home growers listen to us, but also some people who grow in a larger scale. What's your suggestion for small and larger growers? Let's divide it into two groups.
I think in general, what I see the most growers make the mistake with is that they, and it's of course in any industry, because this cannabis industry is a marketing industry.
Okay.
Every product has been marketed so well, that is not always the truth. So I think people should really dive into forums and into grower communities to find out the right way than just read stories from companies.
Yeah.
So really do your own research. And that's funny what I see now here in Germany, because it's legal, people also feel safe to do the research.
Yeah.
So I speak to people here yesterday, for example, they never grew before, but they had questions. But some people grow for 10 years, they never asked those questions.
Yeah.
So they already see the change, but when the legal situation gets there, people are also more motivated to really learn more about it. Because the stigma is getting off.
Yeah.
For large-scale growers, in the end, of course, it's always efficiency. So keep all the systems, all the input of products as efficient as possible. And really look at your ROIs, of course. And also the company that you work with need to become a partner and not just a supplier.
Yeah.
So that's why we also stand by, we just don't want to supply you the products. Because sometimes we have customers say, I want all the stimulators and A and B. I said, okay, but I want to first look at your system, your climate, the whole circle of the growing operation. And if that's not correct, I'm only going to sell him an A and B. Because in the stimulators, it's a waste of money because he first needs to invest his money on the right HVAC, the right lighting, the right whole circle of growing equipment. So yeah, it's really important to look at the whole circle and not just a nutrients.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We are becoming partners to our customers on a large scale grow, and we work closely together with consultants that are based in Holland that are influenced with our research as well. So that's that's something that's really cool. I think even the research center is going to start a training very soon.
Yeah.
I can maybe share some information. I don't know if Inexo is not very famous yet, but I think in a few months they will start publishing real legal cannabis training in a cannabis greenhouse in Holland.
Yeah.
So every person in Europe, they can book like a week or 2 week lecture
Yes.
inside a greenhouse full of cannabis plants.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to learn it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Chico. Thank you very much. I'm very happy that you join me in
Always happy.
this episode of Cannabis Podcast. I wish you good luck with all your projects and whatever it will be in the future. And I'm sure we will see each other.
In the future, we are on the front page of the book, eh?
Yeah.
Good to see
Okay,
you.
Chico. Thank you. And thank all of you that you listened to us. I hope you got some useful information. And I do give a try to BioNova as well as I will. And we will see what beautiful results we will have. I wish you healthy plants and good life. Ciao.
Thank you very much for watching. And if you always have any questions, we're always open. If you send us a message on Instagram, we will be replied within 3 or 4 hours. And always love to help the growers become better.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for saying.
Perfect, Lord. Bye-bye.
Bye.